Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Goodfellas, where we're talking the 2021 NFL Draft. You ready?
I'm ready.
The Fantasy Goodfellas.
Boom, boom, boom. Rolling on the field.
The Fantasy Goodfellas. All right, we're back. We're going to discuss the first round selections 17 through 32. You ready to get started?
Absolutely.
All right. With the 17th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Las Vegas Raiders select
Linebacker Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, Notre Dame. The Raiders are praying that Micah Parsons slides to them. But Owusu-Koramoah is also a three-down linebacker, and he'll instantly improve that Vegas D. They'll be happy to get him.
And with the 18th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Miami Dolphins select
Running back Najee Harris, Alabama. Just do it. The Dolphins have a need, and a solution is staring them in the face. Harris will definitely make life easier for Tua. And at this point, with the addition of Jamar Chase and now Harris, that offense is starting to heat up. It's starting to look explosive.
If not for Najee Harris, who else would you like to see here at 18? I would love to see Micah Parsons slip down.
I'm with you. I'm thinking two guys, right? I'm thinking Micah Parsons, if he slides down, people saying, oh, character issues, he may. Micah Parsons or another defensive player, Gregory Rousseau. I would love Rousseau here at 18. Micah Parsons, obviously, if he slides down. If not, if you're here and you feel you don't want to take a running back just yet, take Rousseau.
With the 19th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Washington football team selects
offensive tackle Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State. So the Washington football team, who's their quarterback? The Beard, Ryan Fitzpatrick. So now their need is an offensive tackle. So Jenkins is 6'5", 320 pounds. And he's climbing up the draft boards.
With the 20th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Chicago Bears select
offensive tackle Samuel Cosmi, Texas. What the hell are the Bears doing, right? I mean, Nagy is pretty much putting the rope around his neck. Andy Dalton as his starting quarterback? But anyway, they really can't do anything at this point as far as their quarterback situation at number 20. So why not add a QB protector? That's their second biggest need. And Cosmi is a true left tackle.
With the 21st pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select
cornerback J.C. Horn, South Carolina. Colts need to improve their offensive line, but this is another pick that makes a lot of sense if J.C. Horn's here. He's a rangy corner at 6'1", 205, but he can also cover the slot. So he's versatile.
With the 22nd pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select
wide receiver Kadarius Toney, Florida. So Corey Davis and Adam Humphries are out of Tennessee. A.J. Brown needs some help. Based on his frame, I think Toney is probably going to play the slot in the NFL, but he is explosive. He can help with the kick return game. I think it'd be a great compliment to A.J. Brown.
With the 23rd pick in this year's NFL Draft, the New York Jets select
defensive end Gregory Rousseau, University of Miami. The Jets could use help at many positions, who I think is the best edge in this draft. And he's sliding because he opted out in 2020, but he is a stud, and man, I would hate to see him go to the Jets. Obviously, I'd love to see him as a Dolphin, but I'm trying to be fair with my mocks.
With the 24th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Pittsburgh Steelers select
running back Travis Etienne, Clemson. Again, this is one of those picks that I've been consistent with. It makes too much sense. Etienne is the type of back that would work great with Ben Roethlisberger. Obviously, Pittsburgh likes to pass it a lot. He's a great pass catcher. He could go at 23 to the Jets. The Jets will definitely be looking at Etienne.
Real quick, could Etienne be picked before Harris does? I mean, he kind of reminds me of a Christian McCaffrey light.
Man, yeah, that's a pretty good way to look at it. Etienne is kind of like Chris McCaffrey light. Obviously, McCaffrey's a little bigger, but he's that type of player. Yes, that would be a good comparison. And can he go before? Yeah, it depends on the team's need. Like, for example, when it comes to a team like Pittsburgh, I think Etienne might be a better fit than Najee Harris. I mean, Harris has shown us he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He can, but Etienne's probably better than he is at that. But when it comes to power and first and second down up the middle, Harris is the guy. So can Etienne a pick before Harris? Yes, but I doubt it.
With the 25th pick in this year's NFL Draft, Jacksonville Jaguars select
Safety, Trevon Moehrig, Texas Christian University. So now the Jags got a bigger quarterback. Now they're focusing on the other side with another difference maker. Moehrig has good size, 6'2", 210, great instincts, can easily be, a leader in that Jacksonville defense.
With the 26th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Cleveland Browns select
Defensive end, Kwity Paye, Michigan. Paye's stock is rising, but I still prefer Rousseau. But nevertheless, at number 26 here, this is great value for Cleveland. They would love to have Paye here.
With the 27th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Baltimore Ravens select
Defensive end, Jalen Phillips, University of Miami. The Ravens take another hurricane edge. Phillips is big, fast, powerful. Who's the best edge in this draft? It's very close between Rousseau, Paye, and Phillips. I think the three of them are all going to be very good pros. Baltimore Ravens get Phillips.
Is it a lock that two Hurricanes will be picked in the first round? I mean, who's the next prospect? Quincy Roche?
I think it's a lock. I think both Phillips and Rousseau are going to go in the first round. Yes. Roche, that's a good one. I also think Brevin Jordan, the tight end, right? I think both Roche and Brevin Jordan. Yeah, Brevin Jordan might actually sneak into the second round. I think he's like a second or third rounder. And then I think Quincy Roche is, third, fourth rounder. So those are probably next up for the Hurricanes.
With the 28th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the New Orleans Saints select
cornerback Greg Newsome II, Northwestern. This is their greatest need, right? They need a cornerback. Newsome is a strong cover corner who would have been drafted higher if he had more interceptions on his resume. That's kind of been his thing. Not too many interceptions, but he is a lockdown corner.
With the 29th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select
wide receiver Terrace Marshall Jr., LSU. The Packers can't keep pissing off Aaron Rodgers. At some point, they got to give him something. So they give him a new toy. They give him the uber productive Marshall. Devontae Adams and Marshall are going to put up gaudy fantasy numbers in 2021 if this ends up being the pick.
With the 30th pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select
outside linebacker Azeez Ojulari, Georgia. The Bills, they need a little boost to their pass rush, and Ojulari is definitely the guy. He's not as big as Rousseau, Paye, and Phillips. He's more of that outside linebacker, 6'2", 250, but he is fast. He's running in the low 4.6s. I think he ran a 4.63 at his pro day. He's explosive.
With the 31st pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Kansas City Chiefs select
offensive tackle Jalen Mayfield, Michigan. Protecting, Pat Mahomes has to be the Chiefs' priority. And Mayfield can play either tackle spot. I think he's a good value pick here.
And finally, with the 32nd pick in this year's NFL Draft, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select
defensive tackle Levi Onwuzurike, Washington. He's a great fit. Tampa Bay has that aging defensive line, and this is just a young player to inject into that rotation. And he is arguably the best interior defensive lineman in this draft. So it's great value for Tampa Bay.
All right, well, I always appreciate you coming on here and sharing. I'll speak for everybody else to say thanks. It's always exciting to have you on, actually, to be a co-host on this show. So I appreciate you coming on here and sharing your mock draft.
No problem. It's my pleasure. I can't wait for the actual draft, and maybe we can sneak in a few more before then.
Absolutely. Well, thanks for coming on here. Good luck, and we'll see you on 4.0.
All right.